Today, in the United States, there are over 2.3 million people in prison. 1 in every 100 people are behind bars. For Black and Latino people, the numbers are staggering. 1 million Black people and 500,000 Latinos fill this country's prison system. California leads the way in prison spending and prisoners, with 173,000 people in prison, more than a 700% increase in the last 20 years. Why has this increase in prison population happened? Crime rates began decreasing in the 1990s and have been decreasing ever since. But laws have changed. From drug laws to zero tolerance to 3 strikes to Proposition 21. And now we are faced with another so-called tough on crime bill, Proposition 6. If passed, Proposition 6 will continue the devastating cycle of building more prisons, filling them, and draining vital funds from education, healthcare, and other services. It's time we ask ourselves, is this the future we want for our youth? A future of bars, guards, and permanent records? Or a future of quality schools, community centers, and living wage jobs? The person spearheading Proposition 6 is California State Senator George Runner. Runner is a Republican from the Antelope Valley. As an arch-conservative, Senator Runner is a strong supporter of tough-on-crime legislation, such as 3 strikes and Jessica's Law. It's been rumored that Senator Runner hopes to run for Attorney General soon. What better way to appeal to his conservative, predominantly white base than pass a law such as Prop 6? The author of Prop 6 is Mike Reynolds, the same person who wrote 3 strikes, passed by voters in 1994. But of course, to get an initiative on the ballot, you need money, and a lot of it. The #1 funder of Proposition 6, to the tune of $1 million, is Henry Nicholas III, a dot-com billionaire. You may have heard of Nicholas in the news recently. He's being indicted by the federal government for fraud, sale of controlled substances, drugging the drinks of coworkers. He has also been in and out of rehab, not prison, for substance abuse. These are the people behind Prop 6. Are they really trying to protect you or arrest you? Proposition 6 will cost the state $1 billion the first year and $500 million every year after, with automatic increases for inflation. This is on top of the $10 billion the state's corrections department already consumes, a budget that has increased more than 1,300% over the last 23 years. All of this money will come directly from the state's general fund, at a time of crisis in the state budget. California has a $15 billion deficit. Layoffs, lowering wages, and cuts in education and healthcare are looming. Prop 6 will mean prisons over schools, prisons over healthcare, prisons over all the vital services our communities need to survive. Proposition 6 would change the law so that any youth, 14 years or older, arrested for a gang-related felony, including nonviolent ones, would be tried in adult court. One of the primary ways a crime will be considered gang-related is if your name appears in the California Gang Database, a system with more than 100,000 names in it. In many ways, gang databases are the new blacklists. People are put on the list based on loose criteria and are often labeled guilty by association. Many people do not even know they are on the list until they are in court and given an increased penalty for being an alleged gang member. People of color, in particular Black and Latino young men, are disproportionately logged into the database. In 2003, the Los Angeles District Attorneys found that close to half of Black males between the ages of 21 and 24 had been entered into the database, even though no one could credibly argue that all of these young men were current gang members. But whether or not a crime is gang-related, there are serious consequences if you are tried in adult court. It means that if you are convicted, you will receive a longer sentence, since now you are considered an adult and not a juvenile. And if convicted, you will carry a record for the rest of your life, instead of your record ceiling at 18. With a permanent record, you carry a permanent barrier to jobs, financial aid, and housing. Is throwing our youth into adult court really about creating safe communities, as George Runner claims? Or is it about targeting and funneling Black and brown youth into the prison system? When there is injustice, there is always resistance. There is a growing movement to defeat Proposition 6, and we are fighting to win. We call for quality schools, living wage jobs, community centers, universal health care, and after-school programs, because we know that these are the things that make communities strong and sustainable. Not more police, not more prisons. We can defeat Proposition 6, and we can grow our movement against the ever-growing prison and police state. But we need people like you to get involved. The time to take action is now. Join us in this fight.